those contracts were awarded prior to the April field hearing. I'm asking you that you go back and identify 5 new prime contracts that will be posted after this hearing for local small businesses.
Okay, ma'am.
And I ask you that you comply within 30 days. Now I recognize Mr. Chabot.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Did the SBA use the disaster response plan in response to the tornadoes that occurred a few months back that devastated Greensburg, Kansas? Because obviously Katrina was, a number of years ago, and you all came up with a different disaster plan, I think, which was supposed to be more efficient. And how did it work in the Kansas situation? What kind of differences have you seen?
In Kansas, also with the tornadoes in Florida and in many other cases, a lot of the changes that have occurred over the last year, and many of which are described in the disaster recovery plan, were in place for those disasters. We saw a very responsive turnaround time, both for people getting approved for their applications and actually getting disbursements. And in fact, in Florida, the local newspaper highlighted the reforms at the agency and how responsive we had been down there.
Thank you. And then finally, for any of the panel members that might like to respond, I'd be happy to give each of you, a minute or so if you would like to, just to maybe clarify anything that you think you'd like to bring out in response to any of the questions that might have been asked, or any points that you think that you didn't have adequate time to explain your answers. I'd be happy to give you that time now, approximately a minute each. You don't have to take it, but if you think there's something you'd like to clarify, I'd be happy to hear it. You want to begin with you, Mr. Snyder?
Yes, sir. Appreciate the opportunity. I'd like to follow up on the discussion with Congressman Gonzalez. His discussion of our concern about the appropriations bill, where specifically that section 537, where he, I think, used the term, there may be some unintended consequences. We're very much worried about this. While our department clearly supports the tenets of competition and the benefits of it, basically the restrictions, the way we see this, would be absolutely detrimental to all of our efforts in small business, hub zone, small disadvantaged business, women-owned business, etc. And so the Secretary is given by the statute very limited authority, only in terms of national emergency. So anything that you can do, we would really ask for your support in basically in conference getting this turned around. This is a big deal for us, so we would appreciate your help in that regard, as well as, frankly, the salary lines for the account that basically funds the small business office.
Okay, thank you. And we can just get down the line.
Yield.
I'd be happy to yield.
Sir, can you explain to me more specifically how to have bids full and open is bad?
Yes, Madam Chair. Section 537 states, none of the funds appropriated in this act may be obligated for a grant or a contract awarded by a means other than full and open competition, other than a grant distributed by a formula or other mechanism that is required by statute. The Secretary of Homeland Security may waive the application of this subsection during a national emergency. So, full and open competition is full and open competition for all businesses. That means we would, except in the case of a national emergency, not be able to set aside a procurement for small business. That is why we're all for competition. We want the benefits to be able to execute the small business programs that we've been executing, because we think they're absolutely essential to stimulate growth in that particular area of the economy.
That's a matter for interpretation.
This is one of the reasons why we have taken our department very strong exception to this, because we believe we are significantly disadvantaged by that statute as currently written.
I'll reclaim my time unless
sure.
you needed to
Well,
continue to
yeah,
use it, Madam Chair. Okay, I'll yield.
The issue at hand today is local small business participation. This is going forward. The fact of the matter is small business participation by each and every one of the agencies represented here. In the Gulf Coast, and there is no way that we can rebuild the Gulf Coast region if we do not address the issue of fair participation by the same businesses, local small businesses that will be the one creating the jobs to help the region recover. This segment calls for transparency, and that's good for big business and small business.
Reclaiming my time. Ms. Stone, did you have?
I'd like to also add that GSA believes that the other way that we can help revitalize the Gulf Coast region is by ensuring that local small businesses actually participate in the national federal contracting arena. And that's one of the reasons why our GWACs are so important, as if we can try to get them on the schedules, our GSA schedules, if we can get them on our other government-wide acquisition contracts, it gives them a chance to participate in all of the federal contracting dollars that are available. And I appreciate, Madam Chairwoman, that you mentioned that the Gulf Coast region is more than just Louisiana, because, for example, Alabama was also affected, and we have 8A stars, which are the 8A set-aside contracts awarded to Gulf Coast companies there, such as Future Resource Corporation for $9 million or Analytical Services, each up for $6.3 million. Each of these are ways, even though they're participating on a nationwide arena, to help revitalize that region. GSA is small business friendly. We are local small business friendly, and we will be continuing to work with this committee to be aggressive in pursuing these opportunities. Thank you.
Thank you. And we can go down the line. If you don't need to take time, that's fine. But
Yes, sir. I might just very quickly give a status report. We're at about the pre-Katrina authorized level as we do the recovery, but that means we've got a very large effort to get to the 100-year storm protection. So there's going to be a lot more opportunity here. From the Corps of Engineers, we have a good acquisition plan to involve local small businesses in that next piece to go to the 100-year storm protection. And then, as I said earlier, for the advanced contracts to be ready for the next hurricane, we have the RFP in, and we've got a situation in place where we're going to be able to use pretty much as much small business effort as they can provide.
Secretary Finley?
I will simply reinforce and endorse that local small business is the key, is the focus. We have boots on the ground through our PTACs in New Orleans, and we are absolutely using those as a focus and a barometer for our success in making results happen in New Orleans in particular.
Director Preston?
Yeah, I just want to say that I think the last year, and certainly some of the successes we've had down there, as well as the lack of successes, have taught us a lot this year. And it has allowed us to refocus our PCRs. We're in the process right now. In fact, I think we rolled it out last week, a tool that will help federal contracting officers electronically identify small businesses, specifically in the preference areas, to support their work. I think it's helped us get a much better degree of coordination across the agencies. Going forward, that's going to be a critical element. And certainly, just as the leader of the agency, it's put it on my radar screen much more clearly in the realization that leadership for this type of thing does need to be at the top. And so I think we are in a better position than we ever have been before, and we'll continue to make good progress.
Thank you. And finally, Secretary Hankey?
Yes, sir. I'd make just two quick points. VA is very committed to ensuring that we meet our small business goals. We met them last year. Our goal was 23%. We made 28%. And of note, VA, as VA should be, we made the goal for service-disabled veteran-owned small businesses, one of two agencies to do that. We're very proud of that accomplishment, and we're moving forward to implement new legislation that the Congress gave us last year to put service-disabled veteran-owned and veteran-owned businesses at the head of the line. Second point, sir, I would, on the VA Medical Center in New Orleans, we're very committed, VA is very committed to reestablishing a presence, a commanding presence in New Orleans. We want to put our medical center back down there. We do need Congress's help in one way. We have the $625 million appropriated for construction to build a facility. We have only $300 million authorized to do that. So we need congressional authorization to move ahead on that project when the time comes. We're very committed to a partnership with LSU in the area, and we're very close to a site selection. But this hospital in New Orleans VA facility will be more than 1 million gross square feet. We hope it'll include more than 140 hospital beds, an outpatient clinic that has the capacity to receive 410,000 visits per year, and a 60-bed nursing home. So we intend for this to be a state-of-the-art facility. We're pursuing collaboration vigorously with LSU and want to find ways we can collaborate and work together. We need congressional help to get the project fully authorized, so when we come to the construction point, we can do that. Thank you.
Thank you. Madam Chair, I yield back the balance.